What's up, guys? It's t-wils here, back for another video. This is my second take because my shit was obviously kind of lagging. I don't know why, but yeah. Today we had another green day. We took 4 trades today, 3 dubs, 1 loss. We kind of took our trades before that main move that I kind of definitely would have been in if I didn't have the consistency rule as a part of this account. But let's get into the metrics and shit of this account and shit right now. So as you can see, we're up 575, and these are the stats. I hate this shit. It's the stats. Today was a good day though. As I said, we got into a bit of drawdown. To be honest, we went into a bit of drawdown, but today, honestly, I was not crashing out. Right, and I'm not saying I normally do crash out, but I'm saying today I felt like I was definitely more calm in regards to the other days whilst being in drawdown. I was in drawdown. I was not upset at all. I was still waiting for good good confluences, good trades, good movement, and I was not going to crash out. And I didn't feel like I was gonna crash out today at all. This website was reloaded because it has. Well, fuck it, we'll reload it then. Yeah, I didn't feel like I was going to crash out today. I felt good. And that's what I definitely feel like helped me come back and have this $1,000 trade that brought us back into the positive. But yeah, that just comes with growing as a trader and growing whilst being in these evals. I mean these what's it called, qualified or yeah, express account, right? Because I feel like being in this account is definitely way different than being in combines. So yeah, that's just something I have to learn. So I'm happy that I kind of gained that brute force in regards to that mentality from Tuesday, right? We learned from Tuesday, so I'm happy for that very much. So, but yeah, let's get into the trade recap. Let's get into the recap here. Yeah. So as you see, we have this big move here. I did not take this trade. This is a trade I would have taken. I took it on my practice on Top Step. But definitely if there was no consistency rule, and if I probably was on Top Step, which I might talk about at the end of this video, I definitely would have taken this. So yeah, let's get into this trade recap. So yeah, coming to today, I had a neutral bias. Basically, every day in December, I've had a neutral bias. And I think I might just continue having neutral bias every single day because all I care about is draws. Draws on liquidity, where we're going, what we're gonna reverse, and how we're gonna reverse it. So yeah, I marked up my buy sides today. Marked up my sell sides. Marked out this. They had these 2 5 minutes here. That was basically it. So yeah, coming into market open, I took a short off of market open. I've been trading off of market open based off of what Rez is saying. It is kind of risky, but if you kind of have like a taste for it, or like a bit of knowledge in regards to it, it can be very free sometimes. It is very dangerous. Excuse me, sorry. It is very dangerous, but it can be free as hell. So market open, res was below 0. We took out all 3 of these sell sides. I could have hopped in. Res was negative. It was like negative 40, I think, coming into taking out this sell side. I didn't want to be greedy because I know, and everybody probably knows, 930 can be a killer. So I waited. I waited until we got roughly like right down here. So I wanted to see take out this next sell side, maybe come into this 5 minute. We unfortunately didn't, but we got stopped break even. We ended up hitting the TP though. I'm going for $600. And we ended up hitting the TP, but I got stopped break even, and we made this 1 minute gap. So that's basically it. And before I go into talk about the next trade, I used a consistency rule calculator last night. I was trying to plan out my next 2 days in regards to the consistency rule, in regards to payout. And I'm roughly going to be trying making $600 today, which I roughly did. And I'm going to be trying to make $600 tomorrow. That's just solely for the payout. I can make more, but I'm just trying to do that so I can get this payout. I should have roughly, I have it over here. I don't know where it is. But yeah, that's my goal for today and tomorrow. So yeah, that's why I had my TP here. That's why my TP looks kind of small and stuff like that. I'm roughly just trying to make $600, and everything was risking 10 micros. So yeah, Coming to this trade here, um, I wanted to take a short down to this 5 minute, off of this inverse from this 1 minute for value gap that ended up making. Obviously, guys, my strategy is that I do not take inverse for value gaps, but I just wanted to see the short. Res is still negative. Um, but yeah, it didn't end up playing out. This is where we took our $600 loss. This is our biggest loss we had to date on this account. But we also had our biggest win today. Yeah, roughly $600 that was today, and we had our biggest win also today. But to end up taking this trade as our biggest loss, we didn't end up putting a stop loss. That's mainly why. So this kind of shot up, and we had to manually close it out. Um, so yeah, but yeah, as I said, I wasn't triggered, I wasn't mad, anything like that. We ended up taking a long right after. We ended up pushing up right through to 50% basically of this fair value gap, and we rejected sit off of it. I put my stops at break even. I made roughly like $90 ish. That was fine. That trade was fine. Um, Definitely could have waited for a higher quality setup. Like these are the trades I'm talking about in regards to um taking some higher quality trades, but it's all good. Coming down to this third trade, and this was our last trade or fourth trade, our last trade. Um, we started dumping off here, and res once we started dumping here, res dropped below zero, and we dumped and we closed right through this 5 minute for value gap, and I seen us pushing bearish. Right, we had draws lower still. We had the 5 minute, had the sell side. So when res came to drop below zero, I'm like, you know, fuck, I'm gonna take a trade here. I ended up shorting to see if we could push straight through this for value gap. We ended up moving our stops to break even right away because we're pushing. So I was a free trade no matter what, and I know we had a strong draw because res was below zero. If we're taking a trade and res is below zero, or if we're shorting, that's just for an example, and we can move our stops to break even right away. That is basically a free trade, right? It obviously is risky because we kind of get reversed and get absolutely cooked. But if it's a free trade and we know res is below zero and we have draws below it, it's basically I think it's a free trade. I could definitely be wrong, but that's just what I think. So yeah, we took a short here down to the sell side. We ended up sweeping straight through this 5 minute, and our TP was set at the sell side. It was a bit it was roughly around $1,000 too, so it was like perfect. Um, and yeah, so we took that trade. That was it banged literally zero drawdown, slapped. Um, So yeah, so and I'll talk a bit about this last trade that I would have taken, that I didn't take, but this is like a perfect trade for me, A plus. So yeah, we swept through the sell side, swept through all the sell sides, so we have a lot of sweeps that we have. We're sweeping, we're literally sweeping. Our reversal is due, especially because we see this selling pressure kind of die off here. Selling pressure dies off here. We don't make any 1 minute gaps, which I like to enter off of, but we make some stronger gaps. We make a 3 minute gap here. I'll show you. That's a very small 3 minute gap. Very good, very small 3 minute gap. Should have entered off the closure. This one we come up to 1 minute. Enter off a 1 minute closure. That's what we would have done here. And we also have a stronger gap. We have a 5 minute gap here. Anything, entering off any of these gaps would have been perfect for my setup. Here's that 5 minute gap. Right here, sorry. Here's that 5 minute gap. Entering off any of those gaps would have been perfect. And our target TP is this 1 minute and also this OB, 1 minute OB. We definitely could have aimed for this draw here of this manipulation wick from earlier, but that's kind of it's kind of generous, to be honest. Very generous. Generous. What the fuck am I saying? Generous. Yeah. So this would have been our TP. This would have been a smacker. Would have definitely been a smacker. But yeah, we didn't. We took that on the practice. We couldn't take it on here because of the consistency rule. But yeah, so I'm happy about today. Obviously we're doing well, but there's things that we need to obviously work on still. We can't only look at the good. Two things I can definitely think off the top of my head is number of trades for sure, 100% we have to work on, and quality of trades. Obviously, we're getting the right moves in the right directions when we want them, but the quality of our entries can definitely be better, especially on. I feel like these two things work hand in hand. Like the quality of trades I'm taking, most of them are pretty shit. At least the number of trades I'm taking, and the trades that end up saving me are the good quality trades that I take. So just limiting myself on those bad quality trades, I feel it can definitely help. Um, that's what we're gonna plan on doing moving forward. And yeah, so for this account, guys, I'm planning on, as I said, making $600 tomorrow, so the BAL can get up to 52.7, and I plan on taking out 15. Um, I want to see if this account ends up trailing me as 2K past the 50K, but I think it should be flat. No, I think it should flatten out at 50. If it does, that's perfect. And that's like that. I would love that. That would be the best possible case. Because if this keeps trailing me $2,000, and that's pretty gay. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, I'm gonna try to get this BAL to 27, and I'm gonna take out the max 15. I'm going to. That is going to leave me with roughly 12. I think $1,200. I don't even need to pull a calculator. I don't mind. It's gonna leave me $1,200 of drawdown, which is 2 trading days with the $1,000 daily loss limit. But that should be fine. And with that, I can at least buy some more accounts, do some shit I have to do, some But yeah, that's basically the plan for this account. Yeah, I'm very happy, very, very, very happy. I'm not gonna lie. Um, and yeah, so fuck yeah. So basically today, after I took a long time to think, and I was just honestly like, I felt so happy, honestly, like especially coming from trading from almost a year, trading for almost a year now, having one other payout, and the main thing that brought me to thinking about like this happiness. Obviously, I'm happy, but was that the first time I got my payout on Top Step, it was like the same kind of thing. Like I was trading crazily, very stupid. I was trading so stupid, so stupid. Then I stopped trading for like a month or two, and I came back to trading, and I got an eval. I passed the eval, got an express, and then it was like my that's this scenario. But last scenario, I had 2 past Top Step accounts that I passed, and I stopped trading for 2 months. I came back, I activated those accounts, and I got 5 straight green days in a row. So that's what made me kind of think about it, because I stopped trading basically like in the summer, came back last month, was back testing crazy basically for the last 2 months. Obviously it wasn't my first account I got that I passed and got green days on, but it was one of my first accounts. Yeah, so passed the account, first express, since coming back, and I'm about to get, hopefully, God forbid everything goes good tomorrow, 5 green days in a row. And it just makes me think of like me then versus me now. And obviously like me then in the past, I came back to the markets feeling that I had something to prove, right? That I wasn't as good as I really thought I was back then. I had a lot to learn, and I learned that, and I came back to the market. I said, I'm going to prove that I've learned what I have in this time, prove that I could be better than I was before, and prove that I could really do this thing. And that's what I did, and I proved that to myself. But then after that, I completely threw all of my rules and everything out the window because I thought I was too good. And mainly after that, I mainly thought like that was a fluke. Like, I had 5 days in a row. Like, who does that 5 green days in a row first after like never having a payout before? And after that, it made me think like, like me doing that was a fluke. Like, I had a lot to prove, but me doing that was a fluke. And, coming into this trading chapter again, I felt like I had more to prove. Like, I had a payout. I'll tell people that I trade, have you got a, first thing say, oh, have you got a payout before? I say, yeah, I've got one. And it's like, oh, okay. Like, I'm not saying like that one is not good, but it's like, I know I could do better. And like knowing where my head was at and how my trading was at the time I got a payout, it's like, bro, if I really lock in, and we see it with a lot of other people, but obviously not to compare or contrast, but if I really lock in myself, I could definitely do this. Right, so coming into this chapter, I knew I had something to prove, and that's why I felt like I had to prove it to myself. And with this trading shit, like I knew it's possible, but there's things that can't be overlooked, right? And that comes down to actually putting the work in, putting time into the markets, and overall just being confident as a trader, right? And confidence, there's many different ways you could look at confidence, right? You could be confident taking a losing trade, right? That's perfectly fine. Like a person just coming into the markets, the main thing I'm trying to say is a person just coming into the markets can be confident clicking the buy button, not having no clue what the hell's gonna go on, compared to like somebody that has back tested knowledge in regards to a certain setup that is gonna be confident to take this trade, knowing the probabilities, knowing that what can play out and what's not gonna play out, and knowing that if it doesn't play out, guess what? That's just part of the strategy. That's perfectly fine. And that's something that definitely changed my mindset coming back into the second chapter. Um, just having overall confidence of my trading and not just kind of trying to fluke it. Um, and yeah, I'm just obviously happy and excited. There's still a lot to learn. There's still a lot more to do. But I'm happy just to know that like I can make that first step in a positive way, you know? It's not a fluke this time. It's not a fluke. Obviously, I still have a lot of things to do, a lot of things to fix. But seeing some return is seeing better than no return. And I can definitely do this, knowing that like now this time I can do this. So yeah, hopefully I inspired somebody. If not, as I said from the beginning, these videos are for me. I could look back at this. And you know it's so funny. Um I actually was looking back in my camera roll in regards to April when I got my first payout, just looking at some of the pictures I took around that time I took the payout, around when I started opening the account. And I made a video to myself at that time. And I made it on, I think it was the third day, my third green day. I was talking about it. And it was just so funny to look back at it now. Like, and back then I was making those videos thinking that, you know, I was a YouTuber. I wanted to actually do this and make YouTube videos. And, you know, kind of like push a positive narrative out there in regards to trading where somebody could learn. Back then I was doing it solely for me. But, you know, now that I'm happy knowing that that was one of my goals, and hopefully I can help somebody else out there. I know that I'm still making videos for basically just my friends right now, but as I said, this is solely for me, and I'm happy that I can do this, push a positive narrative, and also just look back at this and say, I'm making a positive push forward in trading and in in this YouTube shit and in life as a whole. So thank you guys for watching. I know I kind of ranted and yapped and shit, and I haven't even got the payout yet, but there's a lot still to do. With the job's not finished. I'm gonna put in the live trade recap right here, guys. Use my code. My code's gonna be right here. Boom. Use it for Alpha Futures. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. I wish you guys all the best. Have a good day. Have a good rest of your week. And yeah, here's your trade recap.